As women age, they naturally develop heightened emotional intelligence. This means they're better at understanding and managing emotions, both their own and others. With years of life experience, they master the art of empathy, communication, and emotional regulation, skills that are deeply rooted in Stoic principles of self-awareness and emotional resilience. This emotional depth allows them to navigate relationships and life's challenges with greater ease. In this article, we'll explore 13 fascinating psychological facts about older women, showcasing their emotional strength, wisdom, and unique mindset. We'll delve into how Stoic philosophy perfectly aligns with their growth and offers timeless life lessons for all of us. Stay tuned as we uncover insights into how aging brings about emotional maturity, resilience, and an empowered sense of self. Fact 2. They are less likely to care about other people's opinions. Building on the idea of emotional intelligence, older women often develop a profound sense of self-worth that leads them to stop seeking approval from others. As time passes and life experiences accumulate, they begin to realize that the opinions of others are far less significant than their own sense of purpose and happiness. The need for validation fades, and with it comes a refreshing confidence to live authentically. This shift in mindset is both empowering and freeing. Take, for example, Sarah, a woman in her late 50s who spent much of her youth trying to meet the expectations of those around her. Whether it was in her career, appearance, or relationships, she was always striving to please others. But as she entered her 40s and 50s, she experienced a shift. Sarah found herself at a crossroads where she had to face her own desires and needs, separate from society's judgments. Through this journey, she began to realize that life's true fulfillment wasn't in the praise or criticism of others, but in aligning with her own inner values. Her self-esteem grew, and she found the courage to pursue passions she had previously neglected, like traveling solo and starting a small business. The weight of society's expectations no longer held her back. This transformation is rooted in Stoic philosophy, which teaches that true peace comes from focusing on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and decisions, while letting go of the desire for external validation. Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, emphasize the importance of living in alignment with one's own principles and recognizing that the opinions of others are beyond our control. The more we detach from the need for external approval, the more we can fully embrace our true selves. For older women, this psychological shift is liberating. When you stop caring so much about what others think, you open up the space for more genuine, meaningful relationships and a stronger sense of inner peace. This doesn't mean they become indifferent to others. Rather, they learn to value themselves enough not to be defined by outside opinions. They know what makes them happy, and they take steps to live in accordance with their authentic selves. The ability to let go of the constant need for validation also brings about greater resilience. As older women stop letting external judgments shape their self-worth, they become better equipped to handle criticism and challenges with a Stoic mindset. They've learned to see feedback for what it is, an opportunity for growth, rather than an attack on their identity. This mental strength creates an empowering cycle, where the more they stop caring about others' opinions, the more confident and secure they become in their choices. In the end, the wisdom gained from life experience allows older women to stand tall in their truth, leaving behind the chains of external validation and walking confidently toward their own unique path. They become living proof that true freedom is found in embracing oneself and letting go of the constant pursuit of others' approval. Fact 3. Older women prioritize their own happiness and well-being. Following the shift from seeking external validation, older women often come to a profound realization. Their own happiness and well-being must be their top priority. As the years pass, they learn that taking care of themselves, physically, mentally, and emotionally, is not selfish but essential. This change in perspective enables them to live more fulfilling and balanced lives. Consider the story of Linda, a woman in her 60s who spent the majority of her life taking care of everyone else: her children, her spouse, her job. In her 50s, after a health scare and a life-changing event, Linda took a step back. She realized that while she had always been there for others, she had neglected herself. The constant pressure to be the perfect mother, wife, and worker left her feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from her own desires. But the turning point came when she took a weekend for herself. She went for a long walk in the countryside, had a solo dinner at a quiet restaurant, and started to reconnect with her love for painting, something she had abandoned years ago. That weekend was a revelation. She felt rejuvenated, grounded, and at peace. Linda realized that self-care wasn't just about indulgence. It was about survival, clarity, and happiness. This shift is not just a personal decision but a necessary one for older women. The more they embrace their own well-being, the more energy and clarity they have to help others. By prioritizing themselves, they are, in fact, able to be even better partners, parents, and friends. It's a change rooted in self-awareness and the understanding that happiness comes from within, not from outside sources. This prioritization of happiness aligns closely with Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that we cannot control external circumstances, but we can control our responses. Stoicism teaches that inner peace and happiness come from focusing on the things we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. For older women, this translates into an empowered mindset where they no longer sacrifice their own happiness for the sake of others or for societal expectations. They embrace their right to live a life that nourishes their soul, body, and mind. Older women are also more likely to set boundaries, whether in relationships, work, or social circles, that protect their mental and emotional well-being. They have learned that it's okay to say no, to take time for themselves, and to step away from situations or people that drain their energy. These boundaries help them preserve their peace and cultivate a life that aligns with their values. Additionally, older women often embrace a lifestyle that fosters physical and mental health, whether it's through regular exercise, mindfulness practices, or creative pursuits. Their happiness no longer relies on perfection but on balance and peace with themselves. In this stage of life, they have learned that taking care of their own happiness is not just important. It is the foundation for everything else. When they prioritize their well-being, they lead by example, showing younger generations that self-care isn't a luxury but a necessity. Fact 4. Older women have a strong sense of purpose and clarity, building on the idea that older women prioritize their own happiness and well-being. They often develop a much stronger sense of purpose in life. As they mature, the noise of societal expectations and external pressures begin to fade, and they become clearer about who they are, what they want, and what they stand for. This clarity is deeply empowering and leads them to pursue what truly matters to them, whether it's passion projects, relationships, or new goals that reflect their authentic selves. Take the story of Clara, a woman in her early 60s who had spent decades in a high-stress corporate job. While she was good at her work, Clara always felt that something was missing. In her younger years, she had put her ambitions and passions aside to focus on meeting the demands of her career and family. But after reaching her 50s, something shifted. One day, while sitting on her porch with a cup of tea, Clara had an epiphany. She realized that life was too short to keep delaying her dreams. The moment she accepted that her purpose wasn't confined to her job or the roles others expected her to play, she found a new, exhilarating sense of direction. Clara decided to channel her energy into painting, something she had loved in her youth but had long abandoned. Her new passion gave her clarity and drive. She started taking art classes, exhibiting her work at local galleries, and eventually opened her own studio. Her life became infused with a renewed sense of joy, creativity, and purpose. What's more, Clara's newfound confidence spilled over into other areas of her life. Her relationships improved, and she became more present for her family and friends. Clara discovered that a strong sense of purpose doesn't just bring personal fulfillment, but it also enhances the lives of those around you. This clarity of purpose, however, is not just a fluke. It is a natural evolution that happens as women age. With each passing year, they accumulate experiences that help them shape their personal mission. They stop getting lost in the chaos of other people's expectations and start defining success on their own terms. As they become more attuned to their values and desires, older women learn to filter out distractions and focus their energy on what truly brings meaning and satisfaction to their lives. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of living in alignment with one's purpose. Marcus Aurelius, for example, often reflected on the need to act in accordance with nature and one's role in the world. For older women, this translates to embracing their wisdom and seeking fulfillment from the things that align with their inner values. Stoicism teaches that purpose is not a vague concept. It is the result of clear intention and mindful action, which older women master over time. In the later years of life, older women are more likely to take bold steps toward their passions, no longer letting fear, doubt, or societal judgment hold them back. This clarity and focus give them the strength to step into new roles, explore new opportunities, and live with a sense of fulfillment that radiates from within. The strength that comes from purpose is magnetic, both to themselves and those who witness their transformation. Fact 5. Older women have mastered the art of letting go. Building on the clarity and sense of purpose that older women develop, one of the most powerful psychological shifts they experience is the mastery of letting go. As they age, older women often let go of things that no longer serve them, whether it's past regrets, unfulfilling relationships, or unrealistic expectations. The weight of holding onto old grudges, fears, or failures becomes less important. What once seemed like significant struggles fade in the face of a life well lived, and they become more willing to release what is no longer needed. Consider the story of Margaret, a woman in her 70s who had spent much of her younger years trying to please everyone. She constantly held onto the idea of what others expected her to be, whether it was as a perfect mother, wife, or employee. Over time, though, Margaret's energy was drained by the need to conform, leaving her exhausted and disconnected from herself. After a series of personal setbacks in her 50s and 60s, she realized that she had been carrying too much emotional baggage. The fear of disappointing others and the burden of past mistakes had been holding her back from living a life she truly desired. At the age of 68, Margaret decided it was time to release the past. She forgave herself for the mistakes she had made, let go of toxic relationships, and even left a job that no longer brought her joy. Instead, she took the leap into something new. Margaret enrolled in a writing course and started documenting her life story. It was as if she had shed a heavy weight, and for the first time in years, she felt free. The act of letting go brought her a sense of peace and renewed energy that allowed her to step into her next chapter with excitement and purpose. This powerful process of letting go is a common theme in the lives of older women. With age comes the understanding that holding on to everything, whether it's material possessions, emotions, or outdated beliefs, doesn't serve their well-being. Through years of learning from experience, they realize that attachment to the past creates unnecessary stress and hinders their growth. It's not about forgetting the past, but rather about understanding that they cannot change what has already happened. The present moment is where true freedom lies. This mindset aligns with Stoic teachings, which emphasize the importance of detachment and accepting the flow of life. Stoicism teaches that to be at peace, one must release the need to control what is beyond our power and focus on our inner strength. By letting go of past attachments and embracing what is within their control, older women gain emotional freedom and resilience. Through letting go, they gain the power to fully engage in the present moment, savoring the joys and challenges of each day. They learn that life is not about clinging to the past or worrying about the future, but about embracing the now with grace and wisdom. The ability to let go is truly a gift that older women cultivate, allowing them to live authentically and freely, unburdened by the weight of yesterday. Fact 6. Older women embrace and celebrate their authenticity, building upon the powerful shift of letting go. Another significant transformation that older women experience is the embrace and celebration of their authenticity. With the shedding of old expectations, the acceptance of their true selves becomes more evident. Older women no longer feel the need to fit into societal molds or conform to the standards that once constrained them. Instead, they embrace who they truly are, celebrating their uniqueness, quirks, and individuality with newfound confidence. Take the story of Diane, a woman in her late 50s who spent much of her youth trying to blend in. She was always the one to hold back her opinions, to wear what was appropriate rather than what made her feel alive, and to follow trends instead of embracing her true style. But something shifted as she entered her 50s. The more Diane let go of the pressures to meet others' expectations, the more she discovered a deep love for herself that had been hidden for so long. Diane started dressing how she wanted, speaking her mind, and prioritizing what made her happy. One day, she found herself on a stage at a local event, speaking passionately about the causes she cared about. In that moment, Diane realized how far she had come. Her authentic self was now a force she was no longer afraid to express. This newfound authenticity isn't just about external expressions like style or speech. It's also about embracing the inner qualities that make them unique. Many older women become comfortable with the parts of themselves they once tried to change, whether it's their sense of humor, their quirks, or even their vulnerabilities. Rather than suppressing these traits, they now see them as strengths that set them apart. They understand that authenticity is not about perfection, but about embracing imperfections and owning them. The older women's ability to embrace and celebrate their authenticity is a direct result of the years of self-reflection and life experience that have shaped them. With each challenge they've faced, they've gained clarity and wisdom. The desire to please others or seek validation fades, leaving behind a more liberated self, unafraid of standing out. This shift is liberating and brings with it a deeper sense of satisfaction and joy. Moreover, celebrating authenticity often leads older women to inspire others. Their courage to be themselves creates a ripple effect, encouraging younger generations and even their peers to step into their own power. It is no longer about trying to fit in but about standing out in a way that feels true to their values, passions, and desires. They become role models not because they conform to societal expectations, but because they have the courage to walk their own path. This embrace of authenticity is strongly aligned with Stoic philosophy, which teaches that peace comes from living in alignment with one's true nature. The Stoics believed that self-knowledge and living authentically are the keys to happiness. Older women, through their life experiences, naturally embody this wisdom, celebrating their true selves without fear or apology. By embracing their authenticity, older women not only live more fulfilling lives, but also contribute to a world that values individuality over conformity. The older they get, the more comfortable they become with being unapologetically themselves, truly free from the need for external approval. And that freedom, that authenticity, is a gift that radiates to those around them. Fact 7. Older women are masters of self-compassion, building on the confidence and authenticity that older women embrace. Another powerful psychological trait they possess is their mastery of self-compassion. As they grow older, they become more attuned to the importance of treating themselves with kindness and understanding. Gone are the days of harsh self-criticism or trying to live up to impossible standards. Instead, older women recognize that life is about growth, not perfection, and they have learned to be gentle with themselves through the ups and downs of life. Take the story of Linda, a woman in her early 60s, who, for most of her life, struggled with negative self-talk. She constantly doubted her abilities, felt guilt over past mistakes, and was her own worst critic. When Linda made a mistake at work, she would replay it in her mind for days, berating herself for not getting things right. This pattern followed her into her 50s, where she began to realize that her constant self-judgment was affecting not just her mental health, but her overall sense of happiness. But everything changed as Linda entered her 60s. She began to reflect on her life and understood that mistakes were inevitable. They didn't define her. Slowly, Linda started practicing self-compassion. When she made a mistake, she would remind herself that it was okay to fail and that she was still worthy of love and respect, regardless of the outcome. Instead of focusing on her flaws, Linda began celebrating her progress and the lessons she had learned. This shift allowed her to let go of guilt and embrace each day with a lighter heart. Older women like Linda have a unique ability to view their past with empathy rather than regret. They've been through enough to realize that no one is perfect, and mistakes are an essential part of life's learning process. They now understand that their worth isn't tied to their achievements or failures, but to the love and care they give themselves. They forgive themselves when they stumble, and they don't hold on to self-blame. They embrace the beauty of imperfection. What's truly remarkable is how this mastery of self-compassion influences the way older women approach relationships and others. Because they have learned to be kind to themselves, they are often more compassionate and understanding toward others. They no longer expect others to be perfect, and they can offer support and understanding in ways that younger generations often struggle to do. Stoicism, which emphasizes inner peace and acceptance of what we cannot control, aligns deeply with this practice of self-compassion. Stoics believed in treating oneself with respect, acknowledging one's imperfections, and accepting life's challenges with grace. Older women embody this Stoic wisdom, realizing that while they cannot control every aspect of life, they can control how they treat themselves. Through self-compassion, they cultivate resilience, emotional stability, and a deeper sense of peace. They know that being kind to themselves is not selfish. It's necessary for their well-being. The older women in our lives teach us all the valuable lesson that embracing our flaws and being kind to ourselves is a powerful act of love, and it's never too late to start. If you found value in these powerful insights about older women, don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button. Sparkling Heart, your support means the world to us. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Drop a comment below and share your own experiences or perspectives. Raising hands, and if you're hungry for more empowering content like this, make sure to subscribe and watch our other videos. There's so much more to discover that will inspire, uplift, and keep you coming back for more. Fire your journey to self-discovery and wisdom is just a click away. Glowing Star.